Hi besties, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kelly. Hi if you're new. Today I thought it would be so much fun to share a July reading recap along with my August TBR. I am seriously so excited because in July, I have like my Goodreads pulled up. I have read 7 books, which I think is a record for me considering last year when I started my reading content, I only read 8 books for the entire year. And I will say a big factor of that is because of my Kindle and because of Libby, the audiobooks. Like you can use the Libby app on your phone and get audiobooks with your library card, and it has been such a game changer. So I'm so excited to sit down and film this video with you guys. I have been absolutely loving all the reading content on my YouTube subscription box. So I don't know if you guys enjoy this kind of content, but I thought it would be fun to share with you guys. But before we get started, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you be a part of our Prepster fam. I love sharing fashion content along with what I've been reading. I do have a small business, Kelly Prepster Studio. I will have that link down below in case you guys want to check it out. I have a second channel. We just hit 100,000 subscribers over there, and I am starting a gaming channel. It is so much fun. Burrow, my little French bulldog, has his own YouTube channel. We're just starting all these fun channels, and I would love for you to be a part of them. But anyways, let's get started with what I read in July. So the first book that I read was A Fourth Wing, and I, according to my Goodreads, started this book. I'm kind of embarrassed. I started this book 8 months ago. This book I really did want to like because everyone is raving about it. I think I rated it 4 stars. So I don't want to give any spoilers, but it is like a fantasy, a little bit of romance in it, and they have like a really cute name for it where it's like romance and fantasy. And I will say I did read Powerless by Lauren Roberts, and that really got me into fantasy. I read Bride by Ali Hazelwood, absolutely loved it. This one I just really couldn't get into it, and then I will say it was on page 53. Like I really didn't get really far into it, and I was like, I don't see the hype of this. I switched over to audiobook to listen to this on the Libby app, and I used a little bit of Spotify, and you guys, it was so fun to listen to it. And I think since it was just such a foreign world, it was fantasy, I've never really read a lot of fantasy, having someone like read it to me made it make so much more sense that I absolutely loved it. I did give it 4 stars because the last, like the ending is what bumped it up from a 3-star to a 4-star for me. I don't want to give any spoilers, but basically it is about this girl named Violet, and she has to become a writer. She wants to be a scribe, so it's not really her lifestyle. And there's this boy named Zayden who is like an enemy. It's enemies to lovers a little bit, and they just don't get along. Their banter is really cute, but they're kind of forced to be together. I don't want to like give too many spoilers. I don't know if that's a spoiler. I'm sure you guys have read this by now, but there are so many like little plot twists that made this so good. But I'm kind of debating on whether or not to read the second book. I've heard it's really good. This one was really hard for me to get into, but I did finish this, and it did take me 8 months, but I finished it, and this was my first book of July. I'm like using my Goodreads. Then I listened to the audiobook Year of Yes, and this was like a motivational book, and this is what it looks like on Goodreads. It was on the Libby app. I did give it 4 stars. I don't know. I know a lot of people don't really rate like self-help and motivational books, but I really had some good takeaways from this, and I really liked it. But the biggest takeaway I had out of it, basically this woman who's very busy and starts to realize she's saying no to a lot of things, and she commits to a whole year of saying yes to new things, trying new things. And I was like, I really like that mentality. I was like, okay, but the biggest takeaway that I got out of it, I can't quote it exactly. She essentially said that even if she looks like she has it all together and she might be thriving in work or thriving in business or thriving with her home life, something isn't always thriving. And I just felt like I could relate to that so much. And I don't know if you guys are able to relate to that. I really liked how she said it, and I wish I could say it better, but I was listening to it, so I couldn't like underline it or anything. But so essentially, if you're doing so well, like say your business is booming, you're doing really good with your family, but like maybe you're not working out as much, that's how I could relate to it. And it was just really nice to hear someone else say that they could relate to that. It was in a book. I really liked it, and it was a really quick listen. Then I also listened to the book Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Now this is my second Ali Hazelwood book. I was so nervous I wasn't gonna like it because it is a STEM romance, which is like science and math, and I did listen to this on audiobook, and I will say I don't think I would have liked it if it wasn't for the audiobook, because since they were talking about like science and stuff, I had no idea what they were talking about, but I could understand it because someone was reading it to me. If that doesn't make me sound dumb, but like the words they were using was like the super scientific stuff that I'm like, I just don't get that, but that's okay. That's just not my passion in life. But it is about this girl named Elsie, and she is a scientist, and she is currently working as like a college professor, but she's not quite the tenured professor, and she is fake dating people to make money because she's not getting paid a lot with her job as a like entry professor, and she meets Jack, who is a scientist. She doesn't really realize he's a scientist at first, and then this whole story evolves because they knew each other as different people and now they know each other as scientists, and it is so good. If this is one book that I could recommend, I would recommend to read this one. I absolutely loved it. I rated it 5 stars. It was seriously so cute. It was just kind of like that second meeting, and then it was like a little bit of a plot twist. Like you kind of discover who these people are, and it was so good. So I absolutely love that. And then I read Beach Read by Emily Henry. I am slowly trying to read all of Emily Henry's books. I did read It's on My Bookshelf, The People We Met on Vacation, and I really did not like that book. And I know a lot of people had like mixed reviews on it, and maybe I'll have to reread it to see if I liked it. I rated this 5 stars as well. I feel like maybe I'm a little generous with the 5 stars, but I feel like I've been reading these really good books. And this is about Augustus and January, and they are just so cute. I believe they're both authors and they're both writing, and they motivate each other to write. They don't really like each other at first, or so it seems, and there's just like so much they're going through because January is dealing with a grief of her family, and it's just like so many different little plots in the story, but then they like come together. It's definitely a romance book. I loved it. This is one of those books that I think I could see myself rereading in the future, and I believe Emily Henry might be having a few of her books go into Netflix series, which is really cool. And I believe she's from Ohio, so I just love it because I am from Ohio as well. So it's super fun. I loved reading it. And then I listened to The Honeymoon Crashers, which is believe a novella by Christina Lauren, and it is the point one after the Honeymooners. I read this so long ago. This is one of those books that really got me into reading. It's a really cute rom-com about Olive and Ethan. Basically, Olive's sister breaks off her wedding the day of, and she takes her place on her honeymoon with her ex-future husband's, or however it goes, brother, and they become an item. It's really cute. It's really funny. This book took place after the sister who was supposed to get married, and they crashed their honeymoon. It was just really cute. It was really funny, and I read that book years ago, and I still was able to pick up right onto this book, so I really enjoyed that. Then you guys know I have been reading the Boys of Toen series, which starts with Finding 13, Keeping 13, and then Saving 6, and I just finished Saving 6. This is like my Kindle. You guys, I am obsessed. These books are huge. I loved every single one of these books. I'm like, I want to get them on my bookshelf. That I finished Saving 6, which is Joey's story. So if you read Finding 13 and Keeping 13, those are about Shannon and Johnny. I think about these books almost every single day. They're so cute. But so Saving 6 was about Shannon's older brother Joey. It's really a sad, depressing read, but like you're so invested in these characters, and it shines a little light before what happens in Binding 13, so that kind of like it feels like a prequel. I ate it up. It was seriously so good. Again, it's kind of a sad read, but like I love it, and I love Chloe Wash's writing, so definitely worth checking out. And then the last book that I read in January is If We Ever Meet Again, and I only rated this 3 stars. I believe she just got all of her books in this series republished, like with a new cover, and I've been seeing it at Costco, and I just think they're so beautiful. So then of course I had to go on Goodreads, and I was like, oh, it has a terrible rating, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna listen to it. If I like it, I can always pick it up because I just think the books are so pretty. And I don't know if I should have read the reviews on Goodreads. Sometimes that can kind of put like a sour taste in your mouth, especially if you like read a bad review. Okay, I did that. And I was like, I'm just gonna listen to it because maybe I like it. You know, everyone has different tastes. And I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. And the way that I would say it is, it was a really good read. I wouldn't tell you not to read it, but I also wouldn't be like, you have to read this book, if that makes any sense. I liked it. I want to listen to the second one on Libby. I don't want to buy it because it does take place on the same characters, which are Blake and Farah. And it was just kind of a really mediocre book. Like, it's very predictable. It's really cute, but it's like nothing special. It wasn't a 5-star, like, wow, you have to read this book. But I did really like it. And speaking of that, the second book, If the Sun Never Sets, is on my August TBR. So I'm so excited. Again, I will listen to this on the Libby app. I probably won't buy it, but it takes place 5 years later. Basically, they are foreign exchange students that fall in love, and something comes between them that they're no longer together and they feel betrayed. So the second book is all about rekindling that. I guess they call that a second chance romance, but I'm so excited to read that. And then also on my August TBR is Redeeming 6, which is the sequel to Saving 6. It's the 4th book in the Boys of Toen. This is what it looks like. I am so excited. I'm currently reading it. I'm about 14% in. It's 750 pages, so it's gonna take me a while. And I don't like listening to audiobooks because these books, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love all of these characters, and it is getting so good. It's about Joey and Eva. I hope I'm saying that correctly. It does take place in Ireland, so they have accents. It's just really good. I also put Happy Place by Emily Henry on my August TBR, but I already finished it. Oh my gosh. This was another 5-star read for me, and this one I like told my mom, like, you have to read this. Like, I'm telling you, you have to read this one. It was so cute, and I don't want to spoil it, but I think this was like kind of a second chance romance as well, which maybe that is a trope that I like that I didn't realize I really liked. And then I have 3 more books on my TBR. You guys know I am a sucker for the book Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I did get Reckless on release date, and I just don't want it to end, so I'm only about 100 pages into it, and I'm just taking it really slow because this 3rd book in the trilogy doesn't come out for a while. It just picked right back up where Powerless left off. This is a fantasy young adult novel. It's very good. It's about Kai, and I love this couple so much that I'm like, I don't want this book to end. And I also started, but I haven't finished, and this is an Abby Geminis book. It is called The Friend Zone. This is a 3-book standalone series that I just started. I did read her other books, so I'm loving this. I have 3 books of hers that I haven't read yet, and I always think of her books as a book to get out of a reading slump, so I'm like kind of saving this one, but I also really do want to read it. I believe this is on Kindle Unlimited as well. And then lastly, I really want to read Flawless by Elsie Silver. I have the whole series. I do really want to read this. This is part of the Chestnut Springs series. It's like a small town, a cowboy, I believe romance. I don't know. I'm so excited to read this. We went and saw Twisters the movie, so I'm like, I definitely want to read like a small town book. I feel like it'd be really fun. So that is my August TBR and what I read this July. It was seriously a really big reading month for me. I'm excited to see how my August reading list will be as well. So definitely stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button if you guys want to follow me over on Goodreads. I will have it linked down below. I believe it's just Kelly Prepster. It's a little picture of me and Burrow as the profile pic. So definitely go check it out. I would love to be friends with you. I follow back over there because I always love to see what you guys are reading. And I just hope you're having a wonderful day. And I'll see you guys back here very soon with another new YouTube video. Bye, besties.